Welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day, morning, or night, whatever time it may be for you. And if you're not, that's okay. Feel free to stay a while and get your mind off of things. In this video, I wanted to talk about a recent design challenge I took on for myself. Inspired by BeepleCrap on Instagram, I wanted to try and design every single day and see where it would take me. If you guys don't know who BeepleCrap is, you may know him as the one who sold all of his artworks as NFTs and made about $69 million in a single day, but he's also someone who made a digital design every single day for the past 15 years now, I believe. If you want to know more about him, feel free to pause this video and watch Corridor Digital's video with BeepleCrap. I prefer their video over any other video, to be honest. I actually did this challenge twice, and the first time I was only able to keep it up for about 3 months. My previous job was a big factor as to why I was unable to keep it up, since it really messed with my ability to remain creative. I started to notice that the designs that I was putting out were just designs. They weren't meaningful and they weren't fulfilling. So eventually I felt that I needed to take a mental break on things and just focus on work for the time being. After a while, I was really feeling the urge to take my graphic design ability to the next level. So of course, I decided that I was going to restart my Design a Day challenge on July 20th of 2020. Now, I know for some graphic designers, a design a day in general might not even be a challenge and could even be their job. But for me personally, it was a challenge, as I was dealing with 12-hour workdays and extremely physically tasking duties. I started off by just making the designs that felt good to me. I would look at everyday objects around me and see if I could incorporate them into my designs. After a while, I ended up falling into a pretty deep hole of everything vaporwave. Not like those edgy MS Paint cutouts with Greek or Roman statues. I guess synthwave is more appropriate for what I'm referring to. I would look at reference material and see if I could recreate the effects. Even if I went through different methods, I wanted to really challenge my problem-solving ability as a graphic designer. But of course, eventually I was feeling sluggish from doing so much synthwave designs that I wanted to try something fresh. So I picked up vector tracing and really started to feel like I was building a foundation for myself with it. For a long time, I really enjoyed vector tracing, not just because of the simplicity of it, but also because I felt like I was making something that had a type of look that someone could recognize and know it was made by me. As trivial as it may sound, I preferred to vector trace without making a single curved line. It created a sort of aggressive roughness to my designs that I was really digging, most especially for the darker tone designs that I did. Now, I should mention that a lot of my design work was and is fueled by my emotions in that moment. Some designs are more obvious of this and some are a bit more subtle or have no exact emotion at all, actually. I also want to mention that I have no real school experience for design besides taking graphic design 1 and 2 in high school, so everything that I was doing with my designs were very instinctive or mimicked from my reference designs. The hardest part about learning from my designs was trying to understand why certain things work better than others, most especially since I didn't have any real criticism or input from anyone besides compliments, which is fine. Compliments are nice. So something I kind of came up with for myself was the idea of eye flow, which was how much your designs allow or makes your eyes move depending on the style of the subject and text placements. There were different types of designs that I found that played into this idea. Some designs were made to keep your eyes within the center of the design, and some designs were made to have your eyes start in one location and end at another for a smooth absorption experience. I know there's a method of leading lines, and I did use quite a bit of that in my designs. But again, I'm not book smart in design, so everything I just said about eye flow could be very well already in a book or a PDF file called something else. Fast forward a little bit, I really started to enjoy designing album art covers or album art size designs. And after quitting my previous job, I soon took up streaming and streamed my designs live. On my streams, I did a lot of album artwork, vector tracing, and logo design, which was mostly commissioned by clients on Fiverr. I started to take a deeper dive into learning about typography, layout design, color theory, and some other stuff. Now, I could have just taken credited online classes for graphic design. However, one of my biggest motivations then and even today was that it is possible to achieve a career in design without a degree. Now, That in itself is extremely difficult and definitely takes way more time than it would to probably just get a degree in design, to be honest. But I'm prideful and I enjoyed the pace that I was learning at, which maybe would have been a bit faster than a classroom setting. Not to say that I was this graphic design savant, but just that eventually I didn't like doing other things like playing games or watching anime when I could instead design something. Now, some people might already be able to see an issue with that sort of mindset that I developed. And if you don't, to make it easy, I was more focused on improving my design ability than I was on actually taking care of myself. To be fair, but not to be said as an excuse, I was never actually taught how to take care of myself. I believed that to take care of myself, I needed to take care of others. So I was very others before myself sort of deal. And even when there was no one to take care of, I still didn't take care of myself. It's important that you don't let your hobbies and emotions consume you, let alone dictate your way of life. Ultimately, the way I see things now, as long as you're able to breathe and consciously be aware that you are where you are now because you were strong and that you are strong, regardless of what setbacks you may have had, strength comes in many forms. One of the biggest benefits of this Design a Day challenge was that I was bolstering my design portfolio to insane lengths. I had designs in just about every type of design: typography, layout design, logos, album art, magazine covers, game icons, retro designs, and some other stuff I probably forgot about. On July 20th, 2021, I came to this sort of mental finish line, and I was faced with a forked road. Either I end my Design a Day at 1 year, or I just keep going at it till I decide it's time to stop. As you can tell from the title of the video, I kept going until January 1st of this year, 2022. And throughout that entire journey, I learned a ton of things that I likely wouldn't have if I didn't decide to take it. I won't recap on everything I just talked about because it'll just make someone write a timestamp comment to that recap part. If after seeing my journey and progress, you ask yourself if you should design every day as well, that is completely 100% up to you, but I would just highly advise the mental risk of doing it, since for some people, it's very easy to have a creative burnout or art block, which typically leads to demotivation. If you are seriously considering doing something like this, the best thing I can say to you is to trust in your own process and see it all the way through every single time. Don't cut corners and avoid doing certain things that may or may not improve your design. Try it out. If it works, then it works. If it doesn't, it might work for another thing. That in itself can be a very large building block to improving your problem-solving ability as a graphic designer, which, I mean, is what we're all about, really. So why did I decide to stop my Design a Day challenge? Near the end of 2021, I really started to feel like my design portfolio wasn't focused enough. There's just too much going on with it right now, and as nice as it may be to be a jack-of-all-trades type of designer, it also leaves a majority of my designs feeling half done or lackluster. Not to mention that there isn't really a lot of employers out there looking to hire for the types of designs that I did. The types of places where my designs might fit into would be like a design agency or a clothing brand of sorts. So moving forward, I really wanted to focus my time and put it into actually learning the formulas and foundations for the stuff that can really be sought out for. Like typography for one, I have like a 30% understanding of everything that goes into a good performing typography. Hopefully I can stay on top of these videos so that you all can join me on my journey, but I can almost guarantee that there's not going to be a dedicated upload schedule as of now, since I like to have design time lapses play in the background, and sometimes I actually forget to record something that came out really good. In any case, that is my journey with graphic design and what I experienced designing every single day for 530 days. Technically 531, but that extra 1 day was just because I thought it'd be funny to post again right after saying I was done. Thank you so much for listening, and if you stayed till the end of the video, I really appreciate you. In this video, I actually wrote a script instead of saying everything from the top of my head and taking a ton of audio recordings. I'm probably going to start doing that more, since it definitely helps keep the energy high in my voice and stops me from saying like every sentence. If you liked the video and what I had to talk about, feel free to obliterate that like button. If not, feel free to softly tap that dislike button. Subscribe if you aren't subscribed. I likely won't be ass blasting your subscription upload feed, but it does help out. And if there's anything I missed or said that you would like to know more about, feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll likely get to you about it. Till the next video, please take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, eat plenty of food, and be sure to stretch every now and then. I'll catch you all next time.